And with the quarantine going on, people are running out of things that they really want to look at or do. So maybe starting something new like this. And if you know you're a little nerd on the inside and you don't know how to bring your nerd out to the outside, well, let's try this one. I won't tell, promise. Hey all you cool cats and kittens, and welcome back to my channel. So yesterday we finished with the josei, and today we are going to jump right into seinen. So seinen is probably a word you've seen and didn't exactly know what it meant when you saw it, because usually anime, when you look at the bottom of it in descriptions, it'll tell you what it's about and have a few little tags in there, and it'll say seinen, action, drama, something like that. So seinen means this is a demographic that is aimed towards adult men between the ages of 18 to 45, maybe even 50, depending on what the show is. But it's for older adult men. Usually they are more mature. You know, they can be a little bit anywhere from too brutal for children or too complex for children to truly grasp what's really happening. There are quite a few similarities between seinen and shonen. Shonen, again, meaning that it is marketed towards young boys between the ages of like 10 to 18 or 17 or something around those lines like that. So when you see it, you may be confused, but at its core, a shonen is a simpler story. Seinen is going to be a little bit more complex and have a little bit more adult themes thrown into it that sometimes a child is not going to really understand. Also, the content of it, sometimes they are really bloody. Sometimes they're extremely political, and you know, a kid isn't going to really care too much about that because it's going to be boring to them. But a big main difference between a shonen and a seinen is going to be the fan service and the ecchi. Now, shonen for younger kids obviously is not going to have fan service, and by fan service I'm talking about when the females in the show, their tops just pop off. I don't know why. Physics doesn't make sense in anime all the time, because literally they'll stand there and their shirt will just pop right off. You know, that doesn't happen in shonen, but that does happen in certain seinens, because for some reason I guess men just like it when tops just randomly pop off for no rhyme or reason. Ecchi is another one. You know, ecchi is almost hentai, and if you don't know what hentai is, we're just going to get into a hole here. But that stuff is thrown into seinen. Not all of them. The more political seinen doesn't have that stuff in there. But the action ones, or the ones that are, you know, about a male's version of romance, like a harem. That's a good example. Harem. A harem is a seinen. Now you can have reverse harem. Reverse harem will be for the ladies, meaning harem is one guy and more than one woman. You know, it's the guy, and then he'll have like 5 or 6 concubines. Or girlfriends, whatever you want to call them. Reverse harem obviously is the same thing, one woman and multiple men. Big difference between shonen to josei to seinen is going to be how their romance is portrayed. Usually in shonen there's very little romance in a shonen anime. Boys of that age don't really care about romance too much. So it's not really thrown in there. Sometimes it'll be like little crushes or whatever in the story, but the romance just isn't there. It doesn't follow that line. But like I said, josei follows the serious romance, what women want to see in a romance. You know, real life romance. Seinen romance is basically harem. You know, for example, Sekirei. Sekirei is a big example of this. Tenchi Muyo, that's from back in the day. You know, it was on Toonami, but it was a harem. It's Tenchi. I mean, he was living with like 8 women who were fighting for him all the time. So that's the difference between a romance and a seinen. For some reason, that's what men apparently want to see. You know, I don't shy away from watching those too. They're still interesting to me, but that's how you get that's how you separate the differences in their themes. You know, a romance that a man wants to see is different from a romance that a woman wants to see, is different from the romance that little boys just don't really care about, so it's not in those genres. So if you see a harem anime and they are showing their shirts are just popping off, you know, and they're rubbing their butts on things, you're probably watching a seinen romance. Another example of a seinen. Now this one is not about romance at all. It doesn't have any romance in there. Black Lagoon. It's a really good show. And if you're into shows like Breaking Bad or Ozark, this might be the show for you if you couldn't find another show that you liked out there in the anime genre. So basically it's about a man, probably in his late 20s to early 30s. He is a regular office worker and he is thrown into chaos of crime and smuggling, money laundering, all types of stuff like this. Sounds familiar? It's bloody, it's violent, it's intense, but the story is great. I think the story is pretty great. His character development goes from office worker into a life of crime. He just plummets, similar to, let's say, Walter White. Just saying. So if you really want to see if you can get into a different thing, or maybe this is your demographic and you want to try something because you have never before and you thought things like Naruto were too childish for you, you can jump into this. You can just type in seinen and find out for yourself which ones you want to like by reading the synopsis on it. But I will throw a few out there. We have Erased. That is a great one right there. Erased, I think the way it's put together, it's clever, it's ingenious. A young man has to travel back in time, not only to save someone that passed away in the past, but to also prevent a crime from happening in the future, because they are connected and he is framed. So that's a good one. If you can try that one out. There are more. Monster is another good one. Also, the animation in seinen is different from shonen. Just like Josei, they don't have, there are different animation styles, because there are some that do have the classic look, but generally they have smaller eyes, slimmer bodies, not huge, over the top, hourglass figures, things like that. They're regular people. Well, they're supposed to be regular people. Ghost in the Shell is another one that falls into this demographic. Most of you have heard of this because of the movie that came out. The movie did not do it justice. Now, I didn't hate the movie. I thought it was okay, but it did not do the show justice. So if you liked the Ghost in the Shell movie with ScarJo, then check out the anime. The source of it is great, and you'll have plenty of episodes to watch. There are so many episodes of Ghost in the Shell, so go ahead and give that a try too. I do want to reiterate, just because I am saying these things are demographics aimed towards certain people, I don't want anyone to think just because it is aimed at certain people that if you don't fit in the demographic that you won't like it. Please, anyone, whatever you are, check it out, except for children. Check it out. But if it's not for you, don't throw it away and think that you can't get into any of them. There are quite a few. They have so many different stories, so many different outcomes, so many different just characters. Everything is different about them. I'm just giving you examples so that you can go out and search for yourself. So I highly recommend this genre specific to anyone who really likes complex stories, who really likes to see people, there's usually a descent into madness happening somewhere along the lines, pretty much. But that's what makes it fun. So give it a check out. If you like it, leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you enjoyed this genre, if this is your demographic, or if you are in the demographic but this still isn't for you. But we still have plenty more to get to. There are so many different ones to get into. That's why I have to make so many different videos to fit them all in. But that is the end of this one, and I will see you next time for our next segment of my guide to all things nerdy and all things anime. Thanks, and I'll see you later.